And look at that. It actually worked this time.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? I
But you do have
know.
to pull up your own cards.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So, no, what was funny was that it seemed that we had created a StreamYards at the same time, because I
Oh
didn't
no.
see. I thought you were going to set one up last night, and I didn't see anything. So, I went to do one, and then like a couple of minutes after I made it, I saw another one pop up with a different title, and then it's
Oh
like,
no.
oh my god, we were literally doing the StreamYard for today at the same time.
Yeah, I ended up crashing last night.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So good
where's it go?
morning, everybody. Because
Oh,
Nita
good
has to keep
morning.
her voice. Yeah, Nita has to keep her voice down because
It is
she's in the
October.
Lanning wing at whatever the hospital she's in right now.
It is October 23rd, 2023, and this is
Uh,
the Racing to the Vlogs live
oh
from
my
Kino.
goodness. Yeah, it's Saturday night. Well, hold on. Let me just find everything here. So, because as always, now neither of us are ready for this, but we're
You
gonna hit
ready?
it anyway. No, hit it. Oh, oh, there
Good
we go.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So yes, as we can see, the Nita is back, but they're now in the hospital because C is getting his chemo treatment right now. So yeah, fun times. All
Fun times all around. We're
yeah,
gonna have a
fun
road
time.
show now because of all the medical crap going on, but that's
Oh,
cool.
that's no, that's that. I know, right? So I guess it's a good thing that the laptop works. Oh my goodness. So welcome everybody to another edition of the Rage into the Vlogs show. Yeah, yes, and well, everyone, welcome back, Nita, and good vibes for C. Like I said, he's doing his chemo right now. So yeah, so good vibes for everybody all around. Let's see. So let's see who's in the chat today. Let me
That's
so
why
yes.
we got
Oh,
Joseph in a frame.
yeah, Joseph and Efrain. Hello there. Hello. Welcome. It's been a while since we've seen you, Efrain. And then Mike Walters. Hello.
Morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. And yes, I see you, my beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. I was expecting everybody to be over at Brian K. Morris's stream. We weren't expecting anybody today, but but thank you all for being here. And like I said, if you, like I've said before, if you're joining us from Facebook, if you're joining us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube, join the sexy people in the chat. And yeah, and if you are joining us from Facebook, Facebook has a tendency to disconnect us,
Yeah,
more often than we would like. And Twitter doesn't even allow us to see your comments. So if you
and
want
we're
to
not
have,
even sure what LinkedIn does.
well, that's true. That's true. We're still trying to figure out LinkedIn, you know. So, oh, hey, Victor. Hello. Yes, yes.
Oh, the next one. That's not the
It
bathroom.
was, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. It's like, it's like, we might have to mute in and out.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want me to do it, or when the nurse comes in, or do you want to do it?
Oh no, I can do it.
You can got it. You got it. Okay. Yeah, so like I said, it's like Nita and C are streaming from the hospital right now because C is having his
And
therapy, his
they're just
therapy.
they're just connecting it, so it's kind of busy right now. But once they set up and move on,
Right.
it'll be
Oh,
calmer.
okay. There you go. There you go. So yeah, so quite the weekend We had actually no, today is Monday. Yes, today is Monday. I had to remind myself. So because I was expecting to do another one by myself today, but I was pretty sure the chat was going to help me out with this one.
They always do. And if I have to bounce, they'll still be here for you.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So I guess, do you want to give everybody like kind of like a long and the short of it, for how you feel?
I feel okay. I have a couple of issues where I'll have to have therapy and stuff, but let's see. So Wednesday night I had a mild stroke, and it was on the right side of my brain, so it affected the left side of my body. So I have a little bit of weakness and whatnot, and I'm very tired, but not the tired where you can go to sleep. Just my body is completely drained. And so yeah, but other than that, everything that I have, they expect complete recovery from, and I need to start living my life right, which means stop stressing over you motherfuckers.
There you go. Yeah, I know. It's like, look, I've been trying to tell her this for the longest time, yeah, it's like in the end, it's like the doctor, the doctor just gave her the usual stuff, it's like, you have to eat. Yeah, it's like eat right, exercise,
exercise, and sleep, and make sure that I'm getting up from my desk every hour for at least 15 minutes, move around,
right.
Make sure that I'm getting plenty of circulation to my legs. And
right.
So I have to do speech, occupational and physical therapies, and I need to see a neurologist and an orthopedic, and just with that and the medicine and everything, I should be back to normal.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they said that, that the way that she's been recovering rather quickly. They said, oh yeah, it's like probably at the end of on the other side of this that no one's even going to know that anything happened.
Right.
So that's good. That's it's funny how all this weird shit happens near the end of the year, right?
Every time. Every time.
I mean, it's like, because last year it was my leg, which still hurts. But it's not that it still hurts, but I still feel it. Like there's a tightness on the side of my leg that I still have. I mean, it comes and goes. It is kind of weather related. So,
Look at you, you're a barometer now.
Yeah, I know. I hate it. Yeah. Oh, the weather's gonna be shit, it's like that type of thing.
Like, what was it? What was the movie where the girl would feel her tits and be like, "It's gonna rain"?
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh my goodness, it's not quite like that, but yeah. So last year I had really hurt my leg, and like I said, I still feel it now and then. But yeah, and now I guess it's Nita's turn. Oh my goodness. But not fun stuff. I would much prefer none of this happened, as much as we joke about it right now.
Right,
but well, before I guess it's like before we really get into it,
before we get a brain stroke.
Yeah, exactly. Hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing since 1992, and you know what that means.
Valar Morghulis.
Valar Duhairis.
Especially that. And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter in 2024 with the new story arc Tears of the Mother, which is going to see the re-release of issues 1 through 5, plus the brand new issue 6. And I am also known for my medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which also returns in 2024 with issue 8. So keep an eye out for that. You can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, that's TAILS online.com, and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comic Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. And to tell you more about it in a whispered tone, here's Nita.
Well, I'm gonna try my best to do the whispered tone. But anyway,
Right.
my name is Nita Lanning, and I am the producer of the Indie Comics Network on YouTube, where we try to bring you indie comics centered shows at least once a day. So, and we're getting better at it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
And you can find that at indiecomicsnetwork.com.
Yeah,
It.com. Cut.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so I guess yeah, so the doctor told you that you have to start really taking care of your stress levels. And you know what's funny? This is something that we've always
I know you're
spoken
shocked,
about.
right? I have a temper.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's like, and this is something that we've always spoken about, you know, before, about like how us as creators, that we really do need to take care of ourselves. And unfortunately, we had to see an actual consequence of that. It's like, you know, because also what's funny is that it wasn't it like just about like a week or so ago that you were actually a little concerned about stroke all of a sudden, and then it's like you were wearing compression socks and stuff.
Well, because I started getting cramps in the back of my legs, and I remembered when C was in the hospital that that's how they discovered his blood clots. And while my cramps in my legs weren't as comparable to his, it was enough to flag me to where it's like, okay, I need to get up from this desk and walk around some.
Mm-hmm.
And but that with the increased stress levels, my cortisol is really, really high, which kind of triggers a hormonal, especially with women, will trigger hormonal imbalance. And so all my vitamin levels and everything are completely out of whack, even though I would take supplements and whatnot.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So it's like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I mean, I had him in the hospital for 3 months. Just working with the school stuff with the kids. Just life stuff, you know. And so the stress is yeah. So I have to learn how to relax, and then I let these comics people get on my damn nerves and get up under my skin, and it's like. So one of the things I've decided to do to lower my stress levels is if somebody's not going to go out of their way for me, I'm not going out of my way for them. I'm
Right.
not a public service.
Right.
I'm either a friend or a paid partner, and that's how it's going to be from now on.
Right.
So,
Yeah. You know, it's like you kind of have to, I guess I kind of like step back and kind of
right.
see. It's like, okay, you know what? Who really needs my help and who doesn't? You know,
And
who
it's not even
needs my help
it's not
and
even
who feels
needs it.
entitled to it.
Yeah, it's who feels entitled to it. And there's
Right.
been a lot of entitlement lately, and
Mhm.
yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that shit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and also it's like, you know, and I think that this also dovetails into also what I've been seeing lately, because I've been spending a little bit more time on Threads. And one thing, it's like, look, Threads is like a baby social media platform. Like, people just got on it and they're already complaining about like certain things that they're seeing. And I guess what it is that we're now at this point in Threads, if you're on it long enough now, that the algorithm is still trying to figure you out. So it's trying to figure out like what you want to see, what you don't want to see, you know. So we're at a point where it's like you have to make an effort to tell the algorithm what it is you want to see, to train it. And I thought from the very beginning, the algorithm was very, very easy to train, because it didn't take me long to only see artists in my feed. And then all of a sudden, I only see authors in my feed. I didn't make that change. It just happened. But also you had suggested, and probably because I was looking up so many authors on Facebook, that that data
Well, not only were you looking it up, we talk about it. I mean, we already
Right.
know that they know what we talk about. I mean,
That's
it's
true.
not reading our fucking minds. Like, we mention some weird shit, and then weird shit pops up in suggested ads. It's the same with the
Mhm.
algorithm.
Right. So the thing is, so not that I'm that mad about that switchover, because it's like, I think it's just really nice to have like a forum where I'm talking to people that I'm actually not familiar with. Like I said, it's a lot of authors. And I don't know, I just find it kind of fun to talk to them, and it's like, oh yeah, and kind of like actually see how, like, being a comic book person and being, and mingling with authors is not really that different. So that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. But after a while, right? It's like, but the thing is, though, there comes a point in the, when you start scrolling, where you start seeing posts that you don't want to see. So I always make sure to like mute the accounts or block them, or I mean, there's just, I really want Threads to be like very, very creative focused. I don't want politics. I don't want drama. I don't want
Look, this is why
bullshit.
I'm trying to get you to do that Blue Sky, because I'm telling y'all,
Oh
Blue
yeah.
Sky is the art community over there is huge, and I'm not saying there's not going to be assholes or
Right, yeah.
spam, but there's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know that you sent
it's
me,
growing.
you sent me the code, and it's like, yeah, I hadn't signed up for it yet, so I probably should. But one of the posts that I keep seeing on Threads is people complaining that they're seeing stuff that they don't want to see. But here's the thing, though.
It's getting it's better.
Yeah, but you still have to make that effort to clean up your timeline. And it kind of like reminds me of people, who are on Twitter, who are on, and they complain about how all they see is negativity. Like, all they see is people bringing up drama and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm surrounded by toxic people. Here's the thing, though. Okay, so if you're surrounded by toxic people, then why did you put yourself there? Why are you staying in that room? Because in the end, it's like, you have to curate your experience. If you're surrounded by assholes on social media, it's because you surrounded yourself with assholes, So, that's kind of like the thing that really struck me on Threads, where it's like, if people are complaining they're seeing too much politics, too much drama, my whole thing is, well, then cut that out of your feed, block it, mute it. It's like, put it in your blocked words list. I mean,
now with Threads, it might take a little bit longer to curate, because it is new.
Yeah.
But with Twitter, man, dude, if y'all hadn't figured out how to customize your Twitter,
oh, that's true. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because Threads is still learning.
Yeah. I wish, look, if I can say anything on Twitter is robust, it's their muted word list. It's their muted word capability. I mean, you mute a word and that's it. You do not see it at all. With Threads, not so much. I think they're still trying to figure that out. But, you mute an account, you never see it again. You mute a word, you don't see it again. But here's the thing, though. We don't go driving on the highway specifically looking for car wrecks. That's the thing. So
you're here for her medical experience, not her grammar.
Well, that's true. Yes, that's true. So that's the thing. It's like, when I drive on a highway, I want to be able to drive straight through without seeing a car wreck or experiencing a car wreck. And honestly, social media should be the same thing. And the only thing that controls that is me. So, I was getting stressed out by bullshit I was seeing on Twitter. And that's true too. That's true too, Carl. I was getting, so what did I do? Well, first I started muting words, right? And then I realized, by getting rid of 5 people,
right,
I was able to clear my feed cleaned up like that. Which is also something that we all have to kind of consider.
The problematic people, and I'm going to take your word off the shelf. The problematic people are the minority. They're just the
Yeah.
loudest motherfuckers. As soon as you
Yeah.
silence them, I give y'all some examples, but nothing pops into my mind right now. Like,
Right.
but
Well,
as soon
also
as
we
you
don't
mute
want to
them
say
fuckers,
any
life
names.
gets better.
Also,
No, I don't want to
it's
name
true,
names or
yeah,
nothing.
it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like,
That's
look, because
crazy.
everybody has their circle of people,
Right.
that they know who the troublemakers are,
Right. And if
and
you get
here's
rid of
it,
those loud mouths, it calms
yeah,
down and it's not
it really
near as
does.
dramatic.
It really is. Like I said, it's like it took me getting rid of 5 people off my feed. It was the equivalent of muting hundreds of words. You know? Yeah, no, absolutely. Everybody creates their own hell. That's everybody creates their own problems. So yeah, we're talking. It's like, look, when I had my issue with my leg, my doctor told me, it's like, you know what, well, because at the time my blood pressure went through the roof because of the pain, but because we couldn't confirm it at the time, she told me to, like, okay, lay off the salt. So she told me to not be a salty bitch. And I've really tried to do that, really tried to do that. And it's the same thing, online. It's like, it's like, you know, I keep forgetting the phrase. I've heard Rosario mention it, that don't don't ask for none, don't get none. I keep forgetting what the actual phrase is. And yeah, and it's like, if you're not looking for trouble, if you're not looking for drama, the drama is not going to find you. It'll try, but it's like, oh, mute, block, repeat. It's like, you know what? It's like, never let anybody tell you don't have a right to mute or block. It's like, because you know what? It's like, you know what? I'm not
Or
here
tell
to.
you you're a coward because you block. No, dude, I just
Right.
have I want to keep my peace of mind. I
Yeah,
don't want to get into
exactly.
yelling matches in live streams or on
Right.
Facebook feeds
Right.
and give myself a fucking stroke.
And here's the thing, because that's the shit that we would joke around. It's like, oh, it's like, you better cut that up before you stroke
Shit just
out.
got real, huh, Daphne?
Very quickly, very quickly. And it's like, yeah, it's like, look, I take the garbage out because I don't want garbage in my house, stinking up my house. And, also as content creators, we also have terrible health as we sit for long periods. It's true. It's true. So, so along with curating your mental space online, take that garbage out. Actually get up,
Get up,
go to your
leave.
kitchen and take the garbage out. So at least you're stretching your legs,
Yes.
and it's like, yeah, and it's like, her doctor is saying, get up every hour. It's like, usually I'm wearing a Fitbit that bitches that if I did like 250 steps with an hour. So I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like, I started wearing compression socks. I have my compression gloves when my hands start acting up. I mean, this is something we have to consider,
I
I
mean,
mean,
look at the amount of creators that have had strokes recently.
yeah.
Like I wasn't even alone this weekend. In fact, another creator that lives in our state had a
Uh-huh.
stroke the same night.
Wow.
Right? Mark
Uh-huh.
Guillory. Yeah,
Right.
and unfortunately, he's still in the hospital.
Wow.
But he's coherent and able to text and type and stuff. But still, but we're the lucky ones.
Right.
We're the lucky ones. We had at least 4 people just completely check out last year
Yeah. Yeah.
that we
That's
know of
true.
within our circles. And our circles are, while it's big, they're not that big.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm talking people in their early 40s.
Yeah.
Like this shit, we need to focus on ourselves too.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so it's like, so don't, yeah, so it's like, so you have to take care of your mental health. So curate your own online experience. Like I said, if you're constantly hearing yourself say, I'm surrounded by assholes, like I said, then why are you surrounding yourself with assholes? It's like, really, it's like, if you complain about, oh, there's too much negativity, again, why are you surrounding yourself with negativity? These are spaces, you see, as much as like Facebook and all these social media platforms want you to think that you have no control over it, you do. you have complete control over what you see. It's like who you're giving yourself access to, who's accessing you. You have control over that. And it's and like I said, don't let anybody say that you're being a coward or this, that. And it's like, look, here, I'm not here to debate you. I'm here to read about comics, smutty books, and it's like, and see some, monster fucker artwork or whatever I'm in the mood for. It's like, I want to see that. I'm not interested in your hot takes. I'm not interested. I don't care. So there is no obligation for me to you if that's all you're
Did
offering.
You just have a hot take on hot takes?
Maybe. Maybe. So it's like, yeah. So it's like, you know what? There is no obligation on my part to give you access to me. So
Exactly.
so yeah, so I just and trust me, it's like I remember when I played a YouTube video, and you know how they give the suggested things at the end, the suggested videos at the end, and Nita said that I had like the most calmest recommendations at the end, of the video. It's like,
And then
because
you saw mine.
right, and then it's like
angry.
yeah, and then it's like when Nita plays a video, all her shit is like serial killers, and and it's like what is it? Those really salacious talk shows, it's like and it's just like and it's just like maybe you need to curate your stuff a little bit more. Oh, there you go. It also extends past your social media and comics. Don't let people live in your head. You can only control you. You can't control what other people are doing. You're saying you can't argue with stupid. It's true.
Sure can
It's
try,
true.
but it's a waste of time.
Yeah. I mean, really. And it's like, look, we all have those motherfuckers that do live in our heads rent free. And you know what? Maybe it is time. It obviously is time to evict those assholes. Because in the end, it's like, who are these people? They're a bunch of nobodies. And why,
We owe them nothing.
why are we
That's
thinking
it.
about them so much?
We owe them nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like we still let them in, and I'm really having to come to an acceptance. It's like, it's okay to tune people out.
Yeah.
I was told one time that if I was going to be a supporter of indie comics, then I needed to support all of indie comics, which
No.
included all the creators. No, I don't. Fuck you.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, yeah. You see,
come at
that's
me like you're entitled to me or my time. You can go.
right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's and look, and it's like, and that's every one of us. It's like, look, yeah, where it's kind of like, just like you don't like all your neighbors. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. And it's like, and you know what? And
Every neighborhood has the crazy cat lady and the
Right.
crackhead on the front porch.
yes, exactly. And
when we
the
see them
dude,
when we're at home, we ignore them, and the
Yeah.
creepy perv that walks around. We ignore
right.
them. So let's
Right.
do
And
that.
the homeowner, and the second homeowner who owns the abandoned house that they refuse to do anything with. So it's like, we have this eyesore on the on the block. It's like, not everybody is worth supporting.
No.
Just because we're doing something together doesn't mean everybody gets our attention equally.
No.
And we need to stop feeling guilty about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, look, there's plenty of people who can gather and support you, and without having to, like, oh, it's either everybody or it's nobody.
No.
Especially since I've
And
been
that's
seeing.
not to sound like a clique or anything. That's just
Right.
saying, in real life, this is real life. In real
Yeah.
life, we pick and choose those that we're around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to exclude somebody that's new or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if someone has a history of being a repeated asshole or coming to you, like, you owe them something. We don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah.
So, just, I'm tuning those people out.
Yeah.
You mean nothing to me. Like, who are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And who am I, for that matter?
Right. Yeah. It's like,
just-
why are you so concerned about what we're doing?
Right.
Yeah.
And if
know,
you think I'm beneficial and you want that you want help or whatever, maybe come at people differently.
Yeah.
You know, like learn how to behave. The thing here is egos and manners. It's
Right.
go. I mean, like taming your ego
Yeah.
and having manners go a long fucking way.
It's true. It's true. And also, yeah, and also it's like that. And then there's like the physical aspect of it too. Oh, it's like the airplane analogy. Parent got to take the oxygen first, or for them, and the kid are going to right, exactly. I mean, it's like, yeah, you have to take care of you. Oh.
Yes, Carl.
Mow your lawn. Water your lawn. Take the garbage out. Yeah, and of course, the whole physical aspect of it too, getting up, not spending all day just sitting. It's like, I kind of got thrown off of my of my routine because of Baltimore, and because I got sick afterwards. So now it's like I really should go back to my exercise routines as well, because also that's the reason why my legs start acting up. It's like that that usually means that I have not been exercising for long enough that everything starts to hurt. My knees and my legs starts to hurt, which means that I have to start running again. So I have to get back into that routine. Whatever keeps you moving. It's like I know that wearing the compression socks a couple of days was actually kind of nice. It felt really nice. Like I said, they just make me sweat.
It's like a it's like a hug for your achy calves.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like I said, it just makes me sweat though, so it's not something I want to wear all the time. Which I don't think you should be wearing compression socks all the time anyway. Um, and also, it's like eating right. It's like, her stress levels was literally depleting her vitamins, even though she was taking vitamins, so that was like a weird thing I didn't know would happen. I thought that if you took vitamins, that would help, but her stress levels were through the roof, that it was just like a vitamin vampire. you know so yeah, and it's like, so yeah, so it's like, unfortunately, even though we all work in comics, we have to be adult about certain things. We have to actually take care of ourselves, so that there you go. I mean, it's like you don't have to do anything fancy. Like I said, my whole
No, you
thing is that
don't.
I
They
just
told
mostly,
me 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a
yeah,
day, 5 times a week, mild to moderate. And that could just be a
right.
2 mile walk or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's that simple, or at least it starts out that simple. It's like, just go out for a walk every day.
Mhm.
Literally go touch grass. Go touch grass. You know what? Maybe that's, that'll take care of everything, the internet and everything. Go outside and touch grass. Touch grass, hug trees.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that was one of my biggest vitamin deficiencies was vitamin D.
Yeah, it's like that's like you're a house plant. It's like you need sun. You're like a little house plant wilting in the corner with no vitamin D. It's like, no, get some sun. It's like, yeah, it's just we forget about this because we get so wrapped up in nonsense. I mean, really, it's like, it's like, look, the work that we do, we all love the work that we do, or else we wouldn't be doing it, right? It's like, I know that running Kickstarters is stressful, everything leading up to that, afterwards, fulfillment. Oh, by the way, I am 4 packages away from completely shipping out Eager Raven issue 7. I sent out the last big batch this morning. So I'm just waiting for the Oswald Chronicle books to come in because my sketch covers are going to be with that order, because my printer said that he forgot the sketch covers, but he was going to put it with Jose's order. So when that comes in, I will be able to finish out to finish out completely the issue 7. It was a little hairy there for a second, but I'm really glad everybody is everybody is receiving their books. They're enjoying the books that they're getting. Thank you so much for everybody who pledged to the campaign. And I'm glad you're all enjoying the book so far until the next issue comes out. But so for everyone who pledged to the Oswald Chronicles campaign, we are still waiting for those books to come to the printer from the printer. Hopefully they come this week. Take care, Carl. Hopefully they'll come this week, and we'll get those books out just as quickly as well. So no, absolutely. I really like, because you know what I really again, like another difference.
Be careful, that's a shady group.
The writers, yeah. What I really find different about. But then again, it could be, this is how I ended up accidentally curating everything, is that the writers on Threads, like all they pretty much want to talk about, like they'll talk about the business side of what they do for a little bit, but I think because most of them work through publishers, there really isn't that much to talk about. So they're mostly talking about craft. It's like, oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? Like, like, what do you like writing in the first person or the second person? How do you like writing? It's like, oh, when you're coming up with a character with character names, how much thought do you put into that when you're world building? And those are pretty fun conversations for me, because what I find is that us on this end, but like I said, it could be because that's how I accidentally curated it. It's all about business. How do we optimize our Kickstarters? It's like, what do we do? It's like, oh, how do we promote our Kickstarters better? It's like, how do we, do our books so that get more eyeballs on them, and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, yeah, but what about actually doing the book? It's like, how do you world build, and how do you do this, and it's like, how do you enjoy doing that? And it's like I said, maybe it's because maybe I'm not asking those questions enough, or I'm not following enough people who talk about that. I mean, actually, look, I'm going to give a lot of credit to George Medina, who just started his YouTube series. It's on Get Your Meds channel.
Yeah.
But he started a new YouTube series that's all about the craft of writing.
Right.
Mostly writing for comics. I don't, but so he has like 2 episodes up right now, and they were both really fascinating, because that's pretty much,
really
it's like he talks about the craft. How do you do this? How do you do that? Like, what kind of research do you do? Because it is such a good bookend to what Sam Vera does, which is like, he's about the business, right? And then it's like, yeah, he'll talk about, like the creative aspect of it too, but he's more business, and then it's bookended with George talking about the craft. And I think they really, the 2 shows really complement each other that way. So at least there's, that's a start for me. So it's like, okay, so I'm going to make sure, that I encourage more of this in my algorithm training. So so that so that was like pretty interesting. But the thing is, though, it's like, eventually I would like to learn more about what is it like for novelists to publish through a publisher, because it seems like that novelists also, from what I've seen on Threads, and I know that I'm sure this is all old hat stuff for you Brian K. Morris crew, about self-publishing novels, and that whole novel indie scene. it's like, but this is kind of like I'm getting kind of like an eyeful of it on Threads. Oh, you take care, Jim. Um, so it's just kind of funny seeing how like comics and novels are kind of they're not that much different. Although there seems to be still more pushback on indie printing with novels than there is with comics. Like in comics, indie printing is so easy to do. Like that's just what we do. We've always done this. Um, with novel printing, though, it seems like there's still a stigma of not being attached to a publisher, and printing your own book. So it's kind of really interesting to see the two sides of it. um so yeah, so that's kind of so so yeah, so let's see, what else was going on. I don't know. For comics, even though she's been on episodic TV. Oh, Jen Grisanti. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, and in the end, I'm sure writing for TV is its, well, I mean, it's its own skill set. Because here's the thing, though, right? Because I don't want to say that comics, novels, TV, movies, that they're all the same thing in the end. Because it's like, how we hate that, right? We hate the screenwriters that come in that think that all comic books are glorified storyboards.
No, I
So
hate the people that come in writing a comic as a glorified storyboard to get the Netflix deal.
right,
If they
yeah,
don't understand the concept of the writing, it doesn't get me quite as bad.
right.
But but the Netflix writers, the I'm gonna have the next Netflix deal. Those are the ones that
Right. Yeah. That's like where they just see, comics. Yeah. They just see comics as that.
as a step to another medium, which it
Right.
can be. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I think that it's what you intend. Like
Right.
where you're going. I can't word right now.
No, it's okay.
I'm having a brain fart.
Yeah. Well, be careful with those. It's like, yeah, because it's like that's the thing that we, like I said, I'm not trying to say that they're all the same thing. I mean,
No.
but it's like writing novels, writing comics, writing TV. Yes, I agree, Paul. Writing TV, it's like writing for movies. Like even the difference between movies and TV, it's two different languages. If
Well,
you
even
look at
Kirkman was not writing The Walking Dead to be TV. It
right.
just that comes and naturally. It's that one in a million. So stop
Mhm.
trying so hard. Stop over.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's like, comics, writing for comics is its own language. Writing novels is its own language. There is no way that, I mean, it's like, I think it's rather silly for people to think that writing comics and writing novels and vice versa are the same thing. That, oh, I write novels, it means that I can write comics. And it's like, that's not how that works. I remember on one of Jose's previous shows, the example of J. Michael Straczynski came up, and they were saying it's like J. Michael came from TV to do comics, and they were saying that it took him a while to find his groove, to actually understand, because they were saying, like, I think he did like a Babylon 5 series that everyone said was awful on the show. They said it was awful. Because he's trying to write comics the same way he writes for TV, and it's different. The timing's different, the way the story unfolds is different. And it took him a while to finally figure it out. And they say that now his new books are actually great, because now he knows he learned the language, essentially. It's a difference between you're using tourism Japanese and actually speaking Japanese fluently. But that's any language. It's like, I know tourist French, right? But I'm sure, it's like it'd be a lot easier for me to communicate if I actually learned beyond that, and it's the same thing with comics. But a lot of the thinking process is the same, though. Like how do you world build, right? But also, here's the catch, though. When you're world building, what's important in that world building might change depending on what medium you're writing for. It's like what would what part of the world building would actually work better in comics as opposed to novels. And I've given this example plenty of times when I wrote my novel Cult of the Wolf
comics,
Witch.
you have the advantage of the visual world building.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go into as much detail. But the problem with world building in novels is some people tend to go into too much detail.
Well, that's true. But the thing is, though, at least in novels, that also depends on the audience. That there is an audience that appreciates minutia world building.
Well, I guess that's why Tolkien's so big.
Right, exactly. I was about to say, every one of those people who is complaining about Tom Bombadil not being in the movies, right? And Peter Jackson was saying there is no way would any Tom Bombadil work in the movies. It works in the book. He belongs in the book. He can't be in the movies. It's a completely different thing.
Right.
And so it's like so like with my novel, if I did it as a comic, it'd be the same story, but not the story I wanted to tell, because the angle would have to be different to accommodate the comic book aspect of it. But as the novel, it's what I for what the story I really want to tell, it has to be a novel, because that's where that type of navel gazing is kind of normal. It is normalized in a novel that wouldn't work in a comic, because it would just become boring very, very quickly, and it would have to be glossed over, which is not what I wanted. Because it's like same exact story. But if I did it as a comic, it would be about the story would be about Eager Raven and these werewolf clans fighting an Eldritch witch, right? That would be the story in the comic book. But as a novel, the story is Eager Raven trying to make this relationship with Daniel work, but now Loki's in the picture. And now she has to deal with kind of like this weird threesome that she's in, that she's forced to be in.
Weird threesome.
Yeah, right? So but the story is very different, because like that's the story. I want the relationship story to be forefront, not the action adventure, if I had done it as a comic, but that's why it's important to know what works best in which medium. So that was just kind of like again, it's like I'm just fascinated with how Threads turned out for me. Let's see. So what else was going on? I mean, pretty much. I mean, the moral of the story is just like, like scrape the assholes out of your life, exercise, get out of your chair, touch grass, study. Yeah, exactly. Study your craft. We need. It's like I came into screenwriting from comics. I weirdly found that each medium filled the holes I was missing in another. No, it's true.
Absolutely
it's true. Yeah. But also that's how you end up with the situation where it's like, the book is better than the movie type of thing. And it's something that we say very flippantly because it just seems so obvious. But it's kind of like, the movie's better than the comic, or the comic is better than the TV show. And it's like, and in the end, it's like, you know what? It's like, that's actually kind of misleading to say, because again, it's like, well, you're able to do things in a TV show that maybe you couldn't do in a comic, or you can do things in a movie that maybe you wouldn't want to do in a TV show, or a TV show can do things that a movie can't do. Right. And then it's like, well, the novel is just going to be a completely different thing. You know, I mean, did no, absolutely, no. I mean, this is, I
I
mean,
suck at everything. I even suck at trying to die. So
I know. Yeah, so yes, at least if you're gonna suck at something, do that.
suck at death.
Suck at dying. Yes, you know, because really, it's like it's kind of like, yeah, it's like, it's definitely gonna make me think twice the next time I say something. You better calm down before you stroke yourself out. And it's like, oh.
Dude, we do that all the time.
I know. Until it actually, it's like, oh, and then the doctor's like, yeah, you stressed
Yeah, dude,
yourself
because
out.
I say it so many times, like
Yeah,
joking, but serious joking. I was joking, but kind of
right.
serious. And I walked
Yeah,
out into the bedroom, and I'm like, I told Chris, I was like, I need to go to the hospital. And he's like, what's going on? And I said, I think I'm having a stroke. And he kind of had to look at me for a second, and then he was like, oh my God, holy shit. And it was like, okay.
yeah, right. Yeah,
This
yeah.
time it was real.
Right. Yeah. It's like, we're not joking now. you know? I mean, yeah, that's
It's nuts.
yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, let's maybe not be so flippant.
No way, dude. I'm like all about making more fun of the situation now.
Look, you remember, it's like, yeah, because what's funny is that Nita had posted up a post on Facebook that got flagged by Facebook. Someone reported the shit. And and the thing is, though, she quotes Game of Thrones. Like, what do we tell the god of death, right? Not today.
Not today.
And someone flagged it. Although we do think that this was still part of a harassment campaign
Oh, for
she's
sure.
going
For sure.
through, because Nita loves collecting enemies.
Because people
you
don't
know,
like the truth.
you
So
know, I mean, it's like, look, to the to the people. To the people who feel the need to do bullshit like this, I mean, really, you know what? For your own health, go do something else. For fuck's sake, I mean, it's like, really, why are you stressing yourself out like this?
because
You
it's a
know,
game to them. It's a game. These are the creators that are not even real creators. These are the podcasters who want to talk about how they're all into promotion, and they're all worried about other people or whatever. Yeah, you worried about other people. You worried about other people's business versus
right.
promotion. If you were promoting, you wouldn't have time for all this internet
Right. If
drama.
you were busy doing your comics, you wouldn't have time to do this nonsense.
And
If you
I
were
don't have time for your
busy,
shit. And they hate
right.
that.
If you,
They hate it because
yeah,
you go silent. And I'm telling everybody now, the best thing you can do for any of these motherfuckers out there that are
is
giving
go
you money
silent.
go fucking silent. Because guess what? Trolls starve
Yeah.
easily. That's the worst thing in the world for them. And then you
Right.
can watch them from a distance. They lose their shit, and they attack you or whatever. Just stay
Right.
silent. Just shut
Right.
up and watch them flail.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like, look, and I think it was, I don't know if it was Tina or Rodney who was running the Hasm account. But yeah, it's like, look, you have no control. Yeah, even though yeah, no, I got one of those too. I got one of
That
those
gets you
too. Someone
that
just
gets you
dumped a
blocked. That's
link.
entitlement.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
entitlement.
someone just dumped a link into my DMs going, it's like, oh, check out my campaign. And it's like, bro, I don't even know you. We're not even friends on Facebook.
And
Why are
but you
you
know what?
coming out of nowhere?
Right. And here's the thing: if you want that's fine. We can't all come into here knowing everybody, but say hello. How are you? Would you mind taking a look? Don't go and
Right.
like, oh, if you come support my campaign, and if you haven't, or if you have, disregard this message, because if I have already supported your campaign and
Right.
you drop something like that in my DMs, I'm gonna go unsupport you before I block you.
I mean, yeah, it was just kind of like, it's like, yeah, because it said, it's like, oh, none of it's like, you are not friends on Facebook. And it's like,
No connections at all. Dude,
right,
Google indie
exactly.
comics
I
and
even
started
checked
dropping
to make
DMs.
sure. Yeah, I even checked to make sure whether, like, maybe he was one of
Just
these guys
following
that
you.
sent a friend request and, I didn't answer it or anything. And no, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to do anything with this.
No.
I mean, it's like, but also here's the thing too, not, or as I like to say, not with anyone else's dick. And here's the thing too, if you send the hello, you know what, explain, it's like, you know what, send it all in one shot. Don't try to do the small talk shit, because that's how dick pics happen. So don't do the small talk, just go hello. It's like, I noticed that, did this, that, and the other thing, and I was wondering if you would like to check out my campaign, and or something. Well,
No,
you know what? It's
no.
anything rather than just dumping a link and
Yeah,
saying, check out my
that's the
campaign.
worst. But if you don't follow anybody, or if you're not
Right.
friends with them, or if you have never had any communication with them on a wall, there needs to be a certain level of
Right.
small talk, I believe, because if not, it just comes off as fucking rude to me.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, don't just say hey, because that's how dick
Right.
pic starts. Or what you doing?
Right. Well, that's true. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
first of all, what
exactly.
I'm doing is none of your fucking business.
Right. Exactly. Who are you? But yeah, it's like, yeah, it's been it's like, I used to be that idiot who plopped web comics into Facebook friends DMs. That was stupid, and I stopped that really quick. I think that's a mistake that we all make in the beginning, honestly. That's I mean, yeah, it's like, yeah, I think we've all made that mistake, where it's like, we're kind of like little flailing on Facebook. We don't really know how it works and what the etiquette is, and it makes sense to us, like, well, let me send stuff to people's DMs, and and it's like, yeah, but you learn really quickly that it's like, oh, I'm blocked. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's that then. you know so we're just getting close to the hour, and it's like, and I just want to kind of like end off with I guess like a couple of campaigns that just just really quick, so we could just show a little bit of love. So before we go, just remember that Eagle Raven, the Unicorn King's daughter, is still on Kickstarter. We have 3 days to go. The campaign closes on Friday. We will have a closeout show for it. And hopefully we will be joined by Krista Crawford as well, joining us to talk about this roller coaster of a campaign that we both did. So thank you so much to the 196 backers who supported the campaign. Thank you so much. This is the highest number of backers I have ever gotten on any of my campaigns. And now the trick is to keep your interest enough on my next campaigns that you all decide to stay. But thank you so much. And also, I've seen some names on there that I do recognize, but this is the first time you're pledging to my campaign. Let's just say thank you, you cheeky monkeys, you. That this would be the campaign that you would find me on. So thank you so much. I had a lot of fun doing these books, and I hope you have fun reading them as well. And like I said, speaking of Krista Crawford, a Sky of Thorns, technically our sister campaign, Sky of Thorns, again, this one has 4 days left. She closes on Saturday. This is the first volume of a 3-volume novel, fantasy romance novel set. Thank you to the 330 backers on this campaign. I do have a stretch goal print that every one of you will be getting on this campaign. And if you support both Eagle Raven and Sky of Thorns, there's an extra print, collaboration print that you will get for supporting both of our campaigns. And speaking of the Oswald Chronicles, The Light That Attracts, issue 1 through 4 is on Kickstarter. It's on pre-launch right now, so make sure you head on over to the links in the show notes. so that you can get notified when the campaign goes live, which he's looking to go live the second he gets his books to the last campaign, so that we can at least fulfill and be able to launch the campaign, this campaign. In peace. So, also joining us today, Nightwolf issues 1 through 8. Rob Multari's a series. Nightwolf is back on Kickstarter. It's on pre-launch right now. Do you happen to know when he's planning on launching? Or
I don't have a date, but I know that Jaden will have another cover on this campaign. So
yes,
yeah,
and it's a
check it out.
No, absolutely. It's a very nice cover. I really like the way this cover came out. So Rob Multari's Nightwolf back on Kickstarter. Hit the notify me button so you get notified when the campaign goes live. Also, New York versus the World. This is JD Rosario's comic, zombie comic. New York versus the World issues 1 through 3 is on Kickstarter right now. Thank you so much, the 25 backers. So 19 days to go on this campaign. So if you do like zombie comics, because look, there's room for every genre. No genre is played out. It's like, if you're a fan, you're a fan regardless of whether it's on trend or not. So if you are a fan of zombie comics, then check out Rosario's campaign. 19 days to go. And last but not least, I was hoping to hit it before it before it closed, but at least Marcus McNeil's comic Nobody's Princess 1, 2, 3 did fund. I thought I was able to get this up before it closed. But maybe if you contact Marcus, he'll be able to get you a copy of this fantasy series. You can still support it, on the back end. So I just wanted to I wanted to get that before it closed, but I can't do math, so my timing was off. So that's it.
No, I have to resume my life. I'm just doing it less stressfully.
Yes,
less stress.
exactly.
Less stress, less people.
Yeah. So that's like I said, that's the moral of the story today. Everybody has to watch your stress levels, curate your experiences to watch whether it's like to curate your experiences. So you're watching your stress levels mentally, physically. Get that exercise in. Get outside. Get up from your chair. Your story will still be there when you get back. The comic pages will still be there. So make sure you take care of yourselves, you eat right, you exercise, the whole thing. And it's like, that's really just the moral of the story. It's like, look, like I said, I know we love what we do and we're passionate about what we do, but we really have to remember that we have to, take care of ourselves so that we can do what we love to do longer.
Right.
Memento mori, people. Memento mori. So Nita, do you have any okay, maybe I have to start rewording this a little differently now. Do you have any thoughts to end the show on?
Wow, Daphne, that's morbid.
Yeah, do you have any thoughts to end the show on?
I like it when you say final thoughts.
I know. I mean,
No, I'm good. Just remember, people, like, no one is entitled to your time. If there's no gas, grass, or ass involved, you owe no one anything.
Right, exactly. Right. Or the other word or the other phrase that I know, if they're not feeding, financing, or fucking you, you don't owe them shit. Oh my goodness, we're horrible. We're horrible no matter what. So thank you everybody for joining the show today. Thank you everybody in the chat for keeping us company. Thank you so much to my beautiful eyeball people joining us today on actually a very lovely Monday. I have a couple of errands to do. I actually am going to have to be outside, so at least it's a nice day for me to do that. So yes. So if you want to see more of me and my work and whatnot and my future campaigns, whatever I'm doing right now, you're going to head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress and whatever live updates I may have at that moment. And remember that you could also check me out on YouTube for videos on how I do my artwork, plus my semi-weekly art live streams Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to run one. I had to skip out the one last week because I was fulfilling. So at least that's done. So I will be able to run a stream this Wednesday as well. So you can check me out there Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern for 2 hours of drawing and babbling, whatever conversation we end up having, whatever I feel like talking about at that moment. And remember, you can also read Eager Raven, Heir the First Unicorn for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, 20 issues for free, people. You can also catch up on the latest story arc, Tears the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. So again, thank you so much everybody for being here. Thank you especially for Nita for continuing to be with us. For continuing to be here. You know, let's also thank C for also continuing to be here as well, you know, because technically she's in the hospital right now because of C. And, you know, we want everybody to continue to be here so that we can still enjoy your company and your work. So thank you so much for that. And again, thank you everybody for joining us. And remember, in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you're actually doing the work, you don't have time to get wrapped up in drama and bullshit. So please take care. That's it. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.
Ta-ta.